Hey, family. This is the Sport Milk Podcast. We want to say hello, welcome. Hope you guys are doing great. I'm one half of the dynamic duo. I am DJ. I want to say what's up to my co-host, Big Mike. What's up, man?
Hey, DJ, how's it going today on this nice Tuesday?
It's good, man. It's good. It's beautiful. I have no complaints. I'm
Awesome.
doing well. We just got that Miss Marvel trailer that dropped. So
Yeah,
I guess I guess that's gonna open up our show.
yeah. That's gonna open up the show. But things do get better later on in the show. Spoiler alert.
So saying that, what do you think about the Miss Marvel trailers debuting in June on Disney Plus?
First, I will go with the positive. I thought it was awesome to show a Muslim American teenage girl character. That's an audience that the Marvel Cinematic Universe hasn't really touched on. The actress playing Kamala. Yeah, Kamala. I have to remember she's Kamala and the vice president is Kamala, and I often mix those two up. But it was awesome seeing her. So she's a teenage girl. She sees a boy she likes. The teenage girl angst. Everything was cool. They showed her mom. Her father's big in the Marvel Avengers video game, so this was cool to see mom this time. And yeah, I thought it was pretty awesome. And then when she gets her powers, her hands glow and things move, and I'm like, that's terrible. I
Yeah,
mean, that was absolutely horrible. Because her powers are supposed to be like Reed Richards. She can close the door across the room because her hand can go across the room, not her hand twitches bright silver and then the
yeah.
door closes. Yeah. I was like, hey, thumbs up at the beginning, and then like,
It's
thumbs
like
down halfway through. So I guess it's going to end up even, and I was really excited about it. And like, it's like now I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I want to even try to get into this show.
yeah. Yeah. This might be the first one that I give a hard pass.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
because the other ones, I kind of was. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was on the fence with a couple of the Marvel shows, just because just how they look. But it's always enough there to kind of bring me into the first episode to watch it and
yeah,
say, okay, this is cool. It's a little different. It's all right. Like with the Hawkeye show.
yeah,
I was kind of on the fence until I saw the first trailer. I was like, oh, okay, they're going for the Christmassy vibe and all of this. All right, let's check out the first episode. And then the second one, I was like, okay, it's not bad. It's all right. This
yeah.
one though, it looks like they had some production troubles.
It does.
It like the trailer doesn't flow. It doesn't really do a whole lot for me. Like this was one of the ones where I said, okay, I hope they come and hit it out the park. But it goes to show that right now Miss Marvel is a B-list character, right? She might be C-list. She
Yeah, I
might be.
was I was saying B is kind of giving her a few points. Yeah,
She might. I mean, because when you first watch the trailer, of course, you get like the high school vibe,
yeah.
and I was thinking more along the lines of like Scott Pilgrim versus
Okay.
the World. Like
Yeah.
I enjoy that movie a lot. So I'm okay with the whole quirky, geeky culture type feel,
Right.
but this one didn't really tie in the superhero stuff as much. Like it looked very stilted and it looked jaunted and it just didn't flow for me. And one of the things that always kind of like it's a red flag for me right away
Oh yeah, definitely red flag.
when I start seeing a lot of fast cuts in the trailer.
Yeah.
Like you
Right.
get like the towards the end of the trailer, you got a lot of fast cuts, like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh man, this doesn't flow. What's the storyline gonna be? So this
Yeah.
may be, just me, right? I might be wrong, but this could be the first clunker that comes out of Disney Plus from Marvel.
Yeah, it's looking like it, and I'm kind of leaning toward hard pass. Trailer number two has to really look better, and
Yeah.
it really looked like the only thing I could think of was budget, and I'm thinking this isn't on the CW, because I'm a loyal fan of Supernatural and the Flash, and them doing as much as they could on a piecemeal budget, and I'm thinking this is Marvel, using CGI to make long arms and legs and all that kind of stuff. Once again, just like Reed Richards, hint, hint, we're going to talk about him a bit later on, but that shouldn't be something that's out of their budget. And you were comparing it to Scott Pilgrim. I was thinking more even along the lines of Saved by the Bell. I mean, it looked like your typical high school comedy,
Yeah,
and they showed no origin story. All of us. She's talking about boys, and she's kind of goofy, and she's talking to her friends, and then all of a sudden, I have powers, and I'm like, okay, I know that you can't reveal everything in the first trailer, but some kind of transition as to how she goes from Lisa Turtle on Saved by the Bell to Miss Marvel, 1 second later. So yeah, yeah, I'm kind of leaning toward hard pass on the scale of 0 to 10 jugs of spoiled milk. This gets about a 2.5 or so.
yeah, I'm with you. I
Yeah,
watched the trailer. I shared it to our Facebook page
yeah,
almost immediately, right? And I said to myself, I said, man, this is one of those trailers where it really makes you question: Am I just a fanboy or I'm a fan of the genre?
yeah,
Like, because the fanboy will say, "Oh, I love everything Marvel. They're gonna take care of it." But the fan in me says like, yeah, I've had I had the wool pulled over my eyes before,
yeah,
and this looks like that. This looks like something they're gonna try to trick
yeah,
me and trap me, and that's pretty much what I feel with this. Like, I feel like, all right, I don't know about, what it reminds me of. I don't know if you remember this, but I think it was like the late '80s, early '90s.
okay,
Iceman had his own solo comic book, right?
okay.
And Iceman within the X-Men, very awesome. Or even X Factor, very awesome
Oh yeah, very
character,
awesome. Yeah,
really cool. But would he be the person that I would think would lead his own comic book?
not at all.
Maybe not. For a limited series, you look at like,
Yeah,
okay, but would he lead his own comic book for, 20, 30? Would he be like Wolverine? Nope,
not at all.
not at all.
Not
Wolverine
at all.
had hundreds of issues of solo comic books. That's just how rich that character is. This is pretty much what I'm reminded of Miss Marvel. Like, we see her get the cosmic bands or whatever.
Yeah,
And I'm just saying to myself, I'm like, there's so many other characters I would rather see other than her. Like, I understand the diversity aspect. Like, I understand that. I get it. I know that. But there are so many other better developed characters out there that I would rather see. I'd rather see Nova, right? Or I'd rather see, I'd rather see Luke Cage return.
I
I'd rather,
definitely would rather see that.
I
Yeah,
rather, there are other characters. I'd rather see Daredevil come back. Like,
yeah,
and maybe if you do a Miss Marvel, right? Like, have her in a larger team. Like, do a New Warriors. Like,
yeah,
have a New Warriors show.
yeah,
Do that, and then bring them all together in a New Warriors type of show. But this, I'm about with you. Two spoiled jug milks out of 10 for this
yeah.
trailer.
Oh,
Uh,
for sure.
yeah, it's just it ain't doing it for me.
Me either. And that was a very good point you made about can she carry a series. And while you were saying that, I had similar thoughts about She-Hulk, and not to put down She-Hulk before we even see a trailer, but does She-Hulk have the strength to pull a whole series? Do we really need to see 10 episodes or 8 episodes featured around She-Hulk? Maybe they should focus on some teams, even though that Defenders season, well, actually, that Defenders was better than I thought. I mean, after we saw Iron Fist, and Iron Fist was the low of the low of the Disney streaming specials. I even asked a friend of mine who told me he had watched the whole series if I need to watch the rest of this nonsense to watch the Defenders, and he was like, "Nah, man, it doesn't really tie in." So I'm like, "Okay, well, that's it. Episode 4, that'll be it for me." So yeah, this looks like this is gonna be right in there with the Iron Fist series, and it's like, yeah, Marvel isn't this impenetrable force that we thought they were. I mean, they've had some hits, but they're subject to some Iron Man 3s out there,
Yeah, yeah.
and and every time every time there's a shocker, like Ant-Man 2 was like really really great,
Yeah.
and then you will get something like the aforementioned Iron Man 3. And let's be real, if we didn't think the Captain Marvel movie was going to tie in so much to the Infinity Wars and we had to see it, would you really have gone out and just made sure that you watched that one? Because that one isn't all that special to me either, but I had to see it to see how the story tied in with the rest of it. So, yeah, hopefully this isn't the trend of bad streaming, and maybe somebody needs to regroup and put some teams together and get some people to help carry each other. I don't know.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, if we go back to the first Disney Plus show, because I
Okay.
can't put Iron Fist on Disney. I can't do that, right? I can't.
Yeah, yeah, that's not their
Yeah,
fault.
that was like Netflix, and I don't know. And really, when you look at it, if you go back and you kind of look at the behind the scenes stuff, a lot of the cast was talking about the main actor. His name escapes me right now, but the same guy that was on Game of Thrones. That
Yeah,
he didn't want to really train to get his martial arts in and all this other stuff. But if we go back to the first true Disney Plus series, WandaVision kind of laid the groundwork almost perfectly.
yeah,
Because within WandaVision, not only did you get Wanda, not only did you get Vision, you also got Monica Rambeau. You
Real.
got Sword in there. You got all these different, and you got White Vision in there,
Yeah,
right? You got all these different elements, and you even got a version of Quicksilver that we didn't expect.
that's true.
But you got all these other characters in this one show to help kind of bring it up, bring it along, to kind of formulate the storyline. And unless Miss Marvel is going to like bring those characters in to help flesh the story out, it may be severely lacking. It may be severely lacking.
Yeah.
One of the good things about the comic books is that Kamala Khan has a great relationship with Miles Morales, right?
Okay.
And they play off of one another in the comic books. Like she has her own comic as well, and it's really really good. Now I'm not sure from the tenor of this trailer, it doesn't really feel like they're, at least because I haven't read all the comic books, but what I've read, it doesn't feel like that same tone is flowing over to this as it is there. So if it maybe it's just a bad trailer, you
Hopefully
know,
so.
and I think you made a good point. We'll wait till trailer number two.
Yeah.
Like even though we've already thrown it in the garbage, like we're
Yeah,
just
pretty
saying
much.
that. Like we're saying that. But
Yeah.
if trailer two, if trailer two is a lot better, then that will at least back good faith for me to say, all right, let me watch episode number one, right?
Yeah.
Because my daughters are probably going to want to watch it, right?
Yeah.
They're
They'll
going to watch
enjoy it
it.
seeing a teenage girl being the hero.
Yeah, I mean, and that's cool. I'm cool with that. I don't
Right.
mind. Just deliver it in a way that's entertaining because with Marvel, what you have to understand is both a good and a bad thing. This a Marvel show.
Yeah.
It's a good thing because you have, pages and pages of story and dialogue to draw off of, right? You got all the stuff to draw off of. It's a bad thing because the expectations are up there. They're
Yeah.
high.
Right.
So, because the expectations are high, you can't come in with a subpar movie and say, oh, okay, it'll be fine. No, it
Yeah.
won't be because the fan base is going to go off the deep end if this isn't the best thing ever. So
Yeah.
they're kind of like in a catch 22. But we'll see. It's coming out June.
Yeah. Yeah. There's time, but I guess I got two quick points. She's a brand new character, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you know, the Spider Mans of the world, might have been created 60 years ago. The Hulks of the world. Superman came out what in the 30s or so.
Yep.
So for Miss Marvel to come out roughly 10 years ago, thereabout, she's basically a brand new character. So you're going to tell us we need to get invested in Miss Marvel, and you're going to come out the gate with a pretty subpar trailer. And let's face it, if they were showing her using her powers that way in the trailer, I don't see the series being much different. And as soon as she comes out there and she makes her arms glow and something moves across the room, I'm probably going to grab the remote and turn to something else. I mean, let's just go ahead and face it. That just didn't look good at all. That was not my expectation of the character. And I liked the trailer up until that point. But that was just so cheesy and so, once again, low budget. Like I said, if this was going to be on TBS or something, when you figure they wouldn't have Marvel's budget, it would be a little
CW.
more understandable. CW, yeah, USA Network if they still around. But for this to be Marvel, my expectations were just higher. And point number two, I really liked some shows, but I just didn't watch them because I got into so many shows around the same time, and it's just the whole pecking order. Because
Hmm.
I liked that Hawkeye show, but I didn't like that Hawkeye show as much as some other stuff that kind of pushed it to the back. But I'm starting off not even liking this show at all.
Yeah,
And once it has to get in line with everything else, because I'm finishing up, I got into Snowfall late, let's say, so I'm
yeah.
in season 3. So I'll be watching. Well, this is June though, so I'll be caught up on Snowfall. But I'm just saying something else is going to come out, in the middle of May that's going to get in line in front of this.
Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan
Oh,
comes out May
definitely.
25th.
Yeah. Okay. Well, perfect example.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, if you have Obi-Wan coming out May 25th, the beginning of May, you still have Doctor Strange, and that's probably going to last till June, right?
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Definitely.
and if honestly, right, like if I have to make a choice, right, because my time is precious.
Oh, yeah.
Our time is precious,
Definitely.
right? So if I have to make a choice, I'm sitting down with my family. It's dinner time. We're about to watch a show. I got Obi-Wan in one hand,
Yeah.
and then I got Miss Marvel in the other hand. Guess what I'm picking? Obi-Wan every
Oh,
time.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Every
There's no discussion there.
every time I will. I'm not going to pick Miss Marvel, and maybe I'll catch up with that on the back end. And then you're launching it in June, right around the tentpole season of all the summer movies. Summer
Yep.
movies. Then you got other shows coming on, like you said. I just can't justify that. I just
Me
can't.
either.
So
Me
trailer
either.
trailer two better be a home
Yeah.
run. It better be something. It better
Trailer
be.
two has got to be a home run. It's got to be a grand slam. They got to bring in all of the runners
That's it.
and score 4 runs on that second trailer. Because the first one, like I said, it was good up until her hands glowed and then the door closed, and I'm like, yeah, this is going to be pretty terrible here.
Yeah, it looked
But
like it really did look like something off CW.
yeah,
That's what it looked like. I was like, oh,
yeah,
like
it
just
looked very CW-ish, but even CW could make the Flash entertaining. They could, even though it was too many people with similar powers. But Green Arrow was good. I never got
yeah.
into Legends of Tomorrow, and Supergirl was good.
That
But
Superman is good. That Superman's not bad. I mean,
okay, I
I
hadn't
think
gotten into that one yet.
they're on season two now.
Okay,
I haven't caught up on season two, but season one wasn't that bad. I mean,
okay,
it was like Superman. It was like Smallville mixed with like Riverdale, mixed with like
okay,
some of these other shows.
yeah,
But it's not as bad as that sounds. It's not
okay,
as bad as
okay,
that sounds. It's actually it's okay. And I like I think his name is Tyler Hockney or something like
yeah,
that. Hotchin or I can't think of his last name right now. But he plays a great Superman. Actually, it's an article out recently where they were comparing his Superman with Robert Pattinson's Batman, like how they can
okay,
meld to a great universe. But I don't see that as far fetched. But that's not bad. But this Miss Marvel, it's that second trailer has really it's
yeah.
gotta it's gotta come it's gotta come correct.
It's most definitely got to come correct, because if it doesn't, they might need to just scrap this and just I don't know, bring out like a 30-second trailer. It's like, man, y'all thought we were actually gonna make a Miss Marvel, but the joke's on you, and just show people laughing in the background and come back with it next year or something. Because yeah, this was awful. This was
Yeah.
strictly awful.
Push it back. Push it
Push
back.
it back,
Push
yeah.
it back.
I'm
Take
saying,
the DC tactic. Push it back. All
yeah,
right, so
push it back,
let's
definitely.
move on to our
Awesome to the
our
main
main
event of
event.
the
Yes,
yeah.
our main event. Speaking of powers like Mr. Fantastic, today we're
Oh
doing
yeah.
our Dreamcast for the Fantastic Four.
deep
Yeah,
dive into the Fantastic Four.
yeah, a deep dive, and it pretty much comes. I know that they probably have these roles already cemented. They haven't announced it, but we figure with Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse Boogaloo,
Oh
and
yeah, oh yeah,
all the that coming out, and it's been a lot. Not so much rumors now; it's almost confirmed that you're going to get the Illuminati in this film, and you're going
oh
to get a member of the Fantastic Four in this film, and you're gonna get
Charles
Tom
Xavier.
Cruise, Charles Xavier. You're
Yep,
getting all these people. So we figured this is probably the perfect time before all of this stuff launches that we can get into our dream cast for the Fantastic Four. So Big Mike, how are you
exactly.
feeling about that?
I'm feeling pretty good about it. I have to say, the bar is set so low from those first two Fantastic Four movies. The first one was pretty good. The second one was it's not as good as the first one, and it's kind of bad.
Wait a
Even
minute, wait a minute. So you like the first one more than the second one?
I think so. I think that Silver Surfer. I kind of liked Lawrence Fishburne doing the voice
Yeah.
when the surfer lost his surfboard. Like, yeah, that was kind of stupid. And when Galactus turned out to be this big dark thundercloud, I'm like, yeah, that's really stupid. So
I
yeah,
can agree with that.
I think the first one, and it's not like either one of them was very good. I think
True.
we might be equivalent over one was a 5 and the other one was a 4.5 or so. So yeah, I think the first one was slightly better.
Yeah.
And who would have thought Chris Evans was an outstanding actor when you saw him in Fantastic Four? Shout out to Chris Evans if you're listening.
But you know what? That goes to show us, right? Because sometimes we undervalue directors and scripts.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
we truly
totally.
undervalue, the love that goes into creating some of this stuff. And thank goodness for Marvel, because I was kind of thinking about this the other day, how we have because every genre goes through ups and downs. And thank goodness for Marvel because there haven't been a lot of downs. There have been some,
Right.
right? Like Thor: The Dark World 2, that was not good. That was not a good
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Iron Man 3, a lot of people out there love it. That was not a good movie to me.
Not a
Did
good movie at all.
not, no. It's a couple of they take some dips and dives there, but for the most part, overall, Marvel has delivered great stories, great characters. Been really fun. It's been a good ride so far, and
It
hopefully
has.
that ride continues on. Even switching to the streaming, even with some of the movies that came out in 2021, they for the most part everything is enjoyable, right? Like nothing is laughable. Like even the Eternals. For the part
Yeah,
that I've seen, I mean, it's not
yeah.
horrible. It's not a horrible movie. Like it's
That's
not
true.
the best, but it's
That's
not a
true.
horrible movie. It's watchable. It's not like where you'll get up and just walk out the theater.
Yeah,
Like I didn't finish it. I'm not gonna lie and say, "Oh, I finished it." I didn't finish it. I watched it because we got a podcast. Like it's work, right?
right,
Like
right. Yeah, definitely. That was
it's
business related. That was a
yeah,
business
it's business.
expense.
Yeah, it's a business transaction. That's what we got
Right.
to do. But
Exactly.
overall, it's not bad. And that kind of goes to show us like Marvel is taking some of these characters. Like Chris Evans, everybody wrote him off. Like when
Oh yeah,
Captain America was first announced he was going to be Captain America, everybody's like, no, no,
yeah,
no. And then Captain America, the first Avenger came out, and we were all like, what? Just, we were kind
yeah.
of, yeah, we were all, awestruck. So what we have right now with Marvel is a good thing. And I'm pretty sure that they can do a fantastic, no pun intended, but they can do a
Fantastic.
fantastic job with the Fantastic Four. They really can. They can work
Yeah,
together.
I'm
So,
hoping so. And I had mentioned those first two Fantastic Four movies, and I totally forget that third one with Miles Teller
oh,
and Michael B. Jordan.
how I think I've wiped that from my memory too. Like Men
Me
in
too.
Black,
Me too. Yeah.
thing up there and put.
Yeah.
But How did that go so wrong? How did that go?
I
It
don't
was just
know. I don't know.
that.
'Cause it's like that one. That one just didn't happen. That one we do kind of want to just kind of, as you said, get that Men in Black little flashy thing and just kind of erased that one. That's
Yeah,
that's basically like Magic Johnson coming back and playing power forward in a '93 for the Lakers and Jordan's Wizards years. It's a few things like that. I try to go in and just carve that out of my memory. Yeah,
All star.
Transformers the movie.
There you go.
Yeah,
Oh, here you go. Here you go.
Transformers the movie. Goody Mob World Power album.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, the World Party album. Yeah,
World Party. Yeah, that's it.
yeah, it's some things like that that if it wasn't surgery that wasn't so invasive, you could just go in and just kind of just take that out of existence. That third Fantastic
That's
Four
it.
would
That's it.
definitely fit into that category.
That movie was terrible. That
It's terrible.
that movie was so bad in comparison to the other two.
Yeah,
It makes those look great. It
it
makes those
does. It
look
does definitely.
phenomenal. Yes, it's just and so let's put together a Dreamcast here, right? So
Okay.
for those of you who maybe you're new to our podcast, we haven't done one in a while. What was the last one? Like the X-Men, the
Oh
Star
yeah,
Trek,
it was
Star Trek?
just it was Storm. I think we just did one Dreamcast for Storm, and we didn't do the rest of the X-Men.
That's
We,
right.
we sort of need to catch up on that too.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
slackers. We're
yeah.
slackers. We'll get to the X-Men. We'll get to
X-Men maybe in the next couple of weeks or so.
yeah, we'll do that. We'll get to them.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
for those who are uninitiated, basically what we do is we take a concept or a premise or a show or a genre, and we go and we try to cast it perfectly. Now, of course, we aren't casting directors, so this is like just what we want. So
Yeah, yeah.
if anybody wants to give us a casting directing job for this, I'll
That's what I
take
was
it.
gonna say.
I'll,
Yeah,
I'll
we
take it.
should be casting directors. I think that would be a very good job for us. We could definitely handle that one.
Yeah, we can do that. So
Definitely.
so this is our resume. This is our resume for our casting director
Oh, totally,
career, and we're
totally.
gonna go forward with the Fantastic Four. So I'm gonna let you go first. You
Okay,
can choose
okay,
whoever you want from the Fantastic Four universe, if you like.
okay.
And I don't know who you want to start with, but I'll let you go first.
Awesome. I would kind of like to say Reed Richards still in the end, since he's the leader. We sort of make him that grand reveal at the very end.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to start off with Benjamin Grimm, also known as the Thing.
Nice.
Okay, I'm assuming he'll be mostly CGI. So okay, so we're going to have a CGI thing, but for the role of Ben Grimm when they're going into space and getting this cosmic shock that gives them these powers, we're going to need somebody to actually play Ben, and this hopefully won't be very long into the movie. Because I'm assuming they're going to do an origin story since this is pretty much a reboot.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, who could play that sort of small role in everything, and I don't know. I had heard he was a football player. He was a big, tough, blonde guy. So I'm going to say Ben Roethlisberger plays Benjamin Grimm pre-accident. Go Steelers! And the CGI Ben Grimm will be voiced by none other than Vin Diesel. Hey, he can do Groot. He has a nice deep voice. I would say Vin Diesel for his for the voiceover, and I also like Clancy Brown. Clancy Brown
That's good.
does Lex Luthor in the Justice League movies, and he has that sinister bad guy voice. So
Yeah.
you're thinking the Thing is a good guy, but I think he has enough talent to use that kind of very distinct voice to make us like the Thing. So yeah, so I know Big Ben is an odd choice, but hey, Benjamin Grimm was a blonde football player who was a tough big guy. So hey, Ben Roethlisberger for Benjamin Grimm, and the voice either Vin Diesel or Clancy Brown.
That's a really good choice. It's very. I'm not a big Roethlisberger fan, right? Like
Okay, okay.
I just have, but I can respect that. I can respect that because I'd rather go JJ Watt, right? Like
JJ Watt. Okay,
that's just
hey, okay.
if we're gonna go football player, but I like Clancy Brown. His voice, man, is definitely melodic. Vin Diesel would fit in there. I mean, Fantastic Four is all about family,
Right.
so
It's all
we
about family. Very
we,
good.
we,
Yeah.
we know how he feels about family,
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
Fast and the Furious. And you know what? There's some alliteration there. Fast and Furious, Fantastic Four. I
Oh
think
yeah.
you might be onto something.
And
you
these.
might
Yeah. Oh
you
yeah.
might be onto something there.
Definitely.
That's it. So I can go with that. I could go with that. I imagine that Ben Grimm would be like if I was the director or the script writer, right?
Okay.
If I was a script writer, I would like to write a script where you never see the Benjamin Grimm's true face.
Okay.
Like, like that would be the hook for me. Like that would be the hook with that character. Like you would never see that character's face. So it would always be about the audience, not in his human form at least, right? Like as the thing you would see his
Right.
rocky face and rocky exterior and all that, but as in his human form, like you would almost never see that, almost like Darth Vader. Like I
Okay.
think some of the best, and I have another character like that as well, very similar. But I think some of the better characters are emoted strictly by voice. Like I love Groot. Like I love Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy. I think
I
he's one
am
of the
Groot. Yeah.
yeah, and like you
Right.
do like that character with 3-word dialogue has more resonance than some other characters. We watch a whole movie full of them, and they
Right.
just they don't mean anything to you. But
Yeah.
however, like a character like Groot, he has 3 lines of dialogue. That's it, and they use it in different ways in order to make him good, but in order to make it work. However, like with the thing, I agree with you. It's all about the voice. So for me, for the thing I had down, and this is for all my video game geeks out there, right?
Okay. All right.
David Hayter,
Solid Snake.
Solid Snake. That's it. I his voice is just a lot of people go with a lot of other voice actors. For me, I think his voice has so much command, it has so much strength. It isn't as gravelly, however it does add a little bit of strength and gravity, strength, and a lot of command to it. So when I think of the thing when he said it's clobbering time, you
Yeah.
know I think David Hayter can really do that and bring that out. And then not only that, you also add the video game community. If they say, "Oh man, he's involved with this," you get that buy-in from the video game community. But overall, I do like Clancy Brown though. I might
Yeah.
switch up. I might switch up
Okay.
my
Okay.
vote because of that. That's really good. That's really good.
I like David Hayter too. I used to love those those early Metal Gear games. I didn't think Kiefer Sutherland was bad in Metal Gear 5, but yeah, but David Hayter is an awesome choice. One more thing, just backing up quickly, the reason I thought it would be good to get an actor to play Ben Grimm pre-incident is because they ran a lot of stories in the comics of how the Thing was having such trouble living life as the Thing,
Mm-hmm.
because they were saying he was popular, he was handsome,
Yep.
he was a ladies' man. So I think it would be good to put somebody in that role to see what the changes were. And no insult to Michael Chiklis, aka Vic Mackey from the Shield
Still, yeah.
from back in the days, but he was kind of short and dumpy, and then he ended up becoming the Thing. So if he was a tall, dashing, famous looking hunk, as some of the ladies would say, and then
Mm-hmm.
he turned into Rockman, as we used to call the Thing when I was a little kid. I think that would add some angst. That could add more tragedy into it. Like you went from looking like Tom Brady. Tom Brady might could do it. Well, now he's coming back this year, so he won't have as much time. But if you went from being Tom Brady to being Rockman, that would be a huge loss. So
Yeah.
that's why I think showing them pre-incident would be pretty interesting. And I honestly thought of Big Ben because he played football and he retired and he has time now. He probably can't act for anything. But some kind of tough looking football type athletic guy I think could be pretty decent in that role.
That's a good point. That's a good point. And I was thinking, this is the writer in me, right? I was thinking like that would be something I would play up, and I'm putting the cart before the horse, maybe, right?
Right.
That maybe I would play up for the second film. Like
Okay.
one of the things and this is for the Fantastic Four, even outside of our Dreamcast. one of the things I would like to see out of a Fantastic Four film is them not to so much show the origin story. Like,
Okay.
it's not that I don't care about the origin story, but it's been done to death. And I think the smart studios and the smart writers and the smart creators are getting away from some of the origin stories that we already know. Right? Like,
Yeah.
it's okay to do an invincible origin story because nobody really knows a whole lot about Invincible. I mean, yeah, you got us comic geeks and
Right.
people like that, but the general populace doesn't know that. However, if you get somebody like Superman, everybody knows Superman came from Krypton, the dying planet. Everybody
Definitely.
knows that Bruce Wayne's parents died from violence, gun violence, right?
Most definitely.
Everybody knows that Spider-Man was bitten by a radioactive spider. Everybody knows that Fantastic Four got their powers from space. It's just it's one of those things. So I would think that maybe you explore that maybe in the second film after you've built up that audience, you've already got the wheels running. It's one of those things that you can kind of explore that later on down the line. But I think you make a good point. I think that's an excellent point with him saying, okay, I was this handsome man. I never really thought about Michael Chiklis, right? I never,
Yeah.
like, he's a short, dumpy dude already.
Yeah. Right.
He's
Right.
going to be a taller, dumpy dude with rocks
Right.
on him. Like, that
Exactly.
transition isn't that hard.
Right. Definitely.
So, you make a great point there with that. So, I want to jump forward then.
Okay.
Let's go to the Human Torch.
Human Torch. Okay. All right.
Human Torch. And it's got to be somebody debonair. He's
Definitely.
got to have dashing good looks, has to have flair. He has to, I mean, even though Chris Evans was Chris Evans. He did. I think he did a good job as human flaming torch. As a Human Torch, he did a great job as a
He
Human Torch.
did. He did.
But it's got to be somebody debonair, flashing, handsome, all these things. And you would think like of a young Leonardo DiCaprio there,
Oh
right?
yeah, for sure.
So for me, I gotta go with Zac Efron.
Of course. He's the obvious choice.
Yeah, he is. I mean,
Yeah.
the fan base wants it. I can't disagree with the fan base here
Yeah.
because he's in great shape. The dude has great hair. I'm not
Yeah.
jealous. I'm not jealous at all. I'm not jealous at all.
Right.
I'm
Right.
not, when he has great hair, he has good looks, wonderful smile, and he looks somewhat tough, right? Like the dude looks tough. Like,
He was
like
in Baywatch, wasn't he?
was it Baywatch? Was that Baywatch? Yeah, I think he was.
Yeah, that new Baywatch movie that I don't think was very good. I think I watched 15 minutes of it when I was channel surfing one night. It was on TNT, but yeah, he was in that new Baywatch with The Rock.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
15 minutes more than what I gave it. That's
yeah,
15.
yeah, right, definitely.
I'm not within that demographic. I don't fit in the Baywatch demographic. I
Oh,
just,
me either.
I,
But
you know,
channel surfing breaks all of the rules.
it does. It
Yeah,
does. Do people even know what channel surfing is anymore?
I
Like,
probably, oh yeah, probably now more so than ever because you got 250 channels. When we grew up and there were three networks and four for a cloudy day, you might get that fourth network. You pretty much had to stick with the show. You had to have some patience. You know,
I asked because everything is streaming now.
well,
Everything
good
is
point.
streaming.
Good
So
point.
nobody like
Yeah,
picks up the remote and just goes click, click, click.
yeah,
Oh, this is good. All right, I'm gonna watch this. Click. I
yeah.
mean, it's pretty much. I'm like, all right, I'm going to this platform. I know it's on Netflix. I'm going to
Excellent
watch this,
point.
and I
Yeah,
might find a couple of things on Netflix. And I'm like, okay, it's different.
yeah.
But yeah, I got to go with Zac Efron, man. I think he would make a great Human Torch. I really do.
Me too. Me too. I really had written down Zach Efron also, and just so we had more than one option and to have some kind of discussion because Zach Efron is such the obvious choice. But I
True.
wrote down Alberto Rosende. He's in Chicago Fire. I'm not sure if you ever watched Chicago Fire, but that's my show. I love it. He plays Gallo.
Okay.
He's a young fireman. He's adventurous. He takes too many chances. He's a risk taker, but he has kind of a cool personality. It's like, he'll do something crazy and you say, don't do it, don't do it. But then he'll bring the lady out of the burning building safely. He has that kind of heroic flair. And he's pretty young. I think he's probably 28 or so. So he fits that right age demographic. He has black hair, but I'm sure they could dye his hair to make him look more like, the comic version of Johnny Storm. And he's a very good actor. He's not popular yet.
Okay.
So if they were kind of worried about budget, he would probably come in a little cheaper than Zac Efron. But I just tossed him out there just so we could have a discussion. But yeah, Zach is my vote too.
Okay, all right. Well, there's nothing wrong with tossing another hat out there. The whole thing is right. Sometimes people get famous off this stuff. Like you
Yeah.
never
Oh,
hear about them. You're just like, okay, all right. Who is that? All right,
yeah,
then.
yeah, because I mean, did people know who Chris Reeve was before Superman the movie came out? I don't know if he was popular or not.
I don't know. That's too. I was. I was a little guy then.
Oh,
I
me
don't.
too. I was a little guy too, but I hadn't heard about anything he made before Superman the movie. But yeah, that was in the '70s. Yeah,
Yeah, that was
yeah,
a ways back. I might
yeah.
not even been born just yet. I'm not sure. I'm
I'm
not.
trying to think for real, because I know I saw Superman 2 first. I didn't see Superman the movie until well after Superman 2 was over and done with.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
but yeah, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, Superman 2, speaking of which, man, that street fight between Superman, General Zod,
Oh yeah,
and the other criminals of Kryptonite,
oh
their
yeah,
names
Ursa
Ursa
and
and
Non.
yes, thank you.
Yeah,
My brain just went. Ugh.
I
That's what.
still I still love that movie. Some of those '80s movies don't live up, don't hold up that well, but I still love that movie. I never saw Margot Kidder as Lois Lane, and I'm thinking, does the Superman just not like really really attractive women? And she smokes cigarettes. I'm like, really? You're the baddest man on the earth, and you want Margot Kidder? But that's that's another subject for another day. But yeah, it was an awesome movie.
Super breaking news: Superman likes unattractive women.
Superman is really attracted to unattractive women that smoke cigarettes and have gravelly voices.
Hey, Clark.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
Clark, I need help.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you the baddest dude on the earth. Yeah, I want her.
Yeah.
Okay, dude. Yeah. Okay. Well, awesome. That's not gonna be anybody that's gonna fight you over that one.
Nope. No, you have her. Go ahead.
Go for
None,
it. Go
none,
for it.
none of the villains are kidnapping her. None
Nobody's
of them.
kidnapping her. Do you, homie, as they say in the South. Yeah, for real. Go for it. If that's the one you want, no fighting you on that one, Superman. I think that's a very good choice.
Lex Luthor has me trapped in his lair, Superman. Yeah, Lex can have you. Lex can have you. If he went through the trouble, he can have you.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, for real.
oh, oh.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, we got. Oh man, that's gonna keep me going for the rest of the day.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Just think about it though. Just think about some of the famous Lois Lanes we've had. Now, the Lois on Smallville, I thought she was awesome.
yeah,
Erica
yeah, Rob.
Durance, yeah, she was beautiful.
Yeah, but
But yeah, they've
Margot
typically
Kidder.
not done Superman all that great with this Lois casting.
Oh man, okay, we got to move on, man. We got.
Yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah.
I'm not even gonna get into the one that's on the show right now on Superman and Lois. She's not that. Oh my goodness. All right,
She's
all right.
probably a very nice person though. Very, very
That's it.
nice to her children and small animals. Yeah,
That's really the X-ray vision allows him to see personality. That's
exactly.
it.
He
That's what
sees
it
what's
is.
on the inside, literally.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, let's finish up our dream. Let's go to
Okay.
the Invisible Woman then, right? The
To the
Invisible,
Invisible Woman.
the
Okay.
Invisible Woman, right? I will never call her the Invisible Girl because they were just jerks back then. How they wrote.
Oh yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
ever read the early Fantastic Four comic books?
Not too much. I
Uh,
remember reading the remake that came out in the '90s. I think Jim Lee drew it.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I remember. I still got the first and second issue of that. I got
Okay.
like the
Okay.
first couple of issues, yeah, and then they did the Ultimate Fantastic Four for
Yeah.
the Ultimate line, and then They have a new one that relaunched. I want to say it was 2018.
Okay.
So I still pick those up from time to time. Uh, they're actually in the storyline of Doom's wedding right now. I haven't caught up with that, so I still got
Okay.
to do that. But
Okay.
I said that to say that man, they wrote women so messed up back then.
Oh yeah.
Like it's a reason why she was just called the Invisible Girl. Like, but she's like 20 years old, but they call her the Invisible Girl. I'm like, that is so disrespectful. Like,
Totally disrespectful. But hey, that's the 1960s. Watch the old Star Trek, the original series, and look
yeah,
at those outfits versus the ladies who work with Picard.
yeah,
It's totally different. The 1960s was a pretty wild decade.
yeah. It was, it
So it makes
was.
perfect sense that she would be the Invisible Girl. And hey, they might have thrown around some options that were worse than Invisible Girl.
Oh, look, I can bet. I can only
Yeah,
imagine and put money. But Reed was like, there were times he'd be like, "Shut up, woman! You don't know what
yeah,
you're talking about. This is science." I'm like,
yeah, pretty
dang, like
much.
that's messed up, man. Like, but
Yeah, pretty much.
but
And it's cool how they've evolved her power so much over the years, and she's more than just turning invisible. She has the force fields and all those different powers that have kind of expanded over the years.
yeah, it is. And
Hmm.
she's a really cool character. Like, especially when you begin to read or see her in some of these events, like these crossover events,
Hmm.
like whether it's Secret Invasion or not Infinity Gauntlet. What was the other one? Was it Infinity War or Infinity Crusade? But she had a big part in one of those too,
Yeah,
in the
definitely.
comics. But in a lot of the crossover events, she really shows up and shows out. So that's kind of good to see her in that. But I always think you want a not only beautiful character, but
Hmm.
you also want somebody that's strong, uh,
Okay.
somebody that can lead in the absence of Reed Richards, somebody who is intelligent. So I kind of have my thoughts on that character, but I'm gonna let you go first. So
Okay.
who do you have in mind for the Invisible Woman?
Okay. This is going to be blasphemous to a certain extent because she's
Uh oh,
popular for playing a popular DC character.
uh
But I think this actress has a lot of strength. I think she's a very good actor. We've seen her in one role that kind of presents her in one way, but she has a few other roles that I think shows the gravitas of a Sue Storm. I really like Margot Robbie, and I'm saying Margot Robbie number one. I shall admit is for the eye candy factor. She
yeah,
would most
okay,
definitely put the butts in seats.
okay.
She would definitely get the as well as Beyonce might say, all the boys in the yard want to come see Margot Robbie as Sue Storm slash the Invisible Girl. Yeah, and we know her as Harley Quinn, and she's kind of silly.
Invisible woman. Now, don't fall into
My
the
fault,
trap.
my fault. The Invisible Woman. Thank you, the aforementioned Invisible Woman. We've seen her play Harles, and she's kind of silly as Harley Quinn, but she's great as far as the action. Well, her stunt woman is great. They could hire the same stunt woman for this one, but I think she's a very good actor. She's in a movie with Will Smith, and they
Focus.
play
Yeah, focus.
Focus, definitely
That's a good
right,
movie.
and
Yeah.
that shows an aspect of her acting talents that we don't necessarily see in the Suicide Squad. And I think I really see her holding her own because she commands the screen in Suicide Squad. In the first Suicide Squad movie, I went into it thinking, okay, Harley Quinn is just a side character from the many villains of the Batman Rogues Gallery. She's like one of Joker's hench women, but how big of a character is she going to be? And Margot Robbie stole the show
Hmm.
in Suicide Squad and in Suicide Squad 2. Most definitely Suicide Squad 1. But yeah, I think Margot Robbie could play a very good Sue Storm. She's my pick for Sue Storm.
Wow, that is a phenomenal pick. That's a great pick. You make me ashamed now of who I picked.
Okay.
You make me ashamed because Margot Robbie is a great actress, right? Like she is a really good actress. I've seen her a couple things, and like you said, Focus. Focus is one of my more favorite under the radar movies.
Definitely.
I think the job that she did with Will Smith as her co-lead
Right.
They both did a great job, but I think that was one of the films that made me say, man, she can act.
Yeah,
She can
she can
act.
act. Yeah.
This is really good. And you're right. Like she's a beautiful woman, so she brings that to the role. I think she would be great as a Sue Storm. Now I picked Chloe Grace Moritz,
Okay.
right? We know her from Kick Ass. She's been in a couple of films, younger lady, and that was pretty much my thing. She can act as well,
Right.
uh, but she adds that youth factor where, because Marvel goes on for
Oh
Marvel go
yeah.
on for a decade
Oh,
making films,
definitely.
right?
Yeah.
Like you can be in a role for a decade, you can be in a role for 7 8 years, so you need someone that is youthful and can kind of grow with that role. Like we see Robert Downey Jr., he grew with the role.
Yeah.
Even though he was a great and phenomenal actor by his own rights before Iron Man, he was able to keep up in that role. Same thing with Chris Evans.
Oh yeah. Totally.
Same, same thing with Chris Hemsworth. Same thing with Scarlett Johansson, ScarJo.
Yeah.
These were characters. They caught them early enough in their career where they say, okay, we can sign you to this role. It's gonna be 10 years in. You in this for 10 years, right? Like you got. So I was thinking, like, all right, you got to get somebody that can act, who is in pretty decent shape, who can fill out this role, and that's kind of who I came up with. But man, now that you say Margot Robbie, now I feel bad. Like you kind of you want up me there because Margot Robbie does fit within that, and then she has the air of being a leader. Like you can put her
She
on it.
does. Right.
Like if they wanted to do what's the all female Avengers team? The A Force? Is that
Yeah.
A Force? If you wanted to have an A Force team, and you put Margot Robbie out there as the Invisible Woman, I could believe that.
Oh, totally.
I could believe that.
Yeah.
Like if you set her, stood her side by side with Scarlett Johansson, if you stood her side by side with the woman that's playing She-Hulk, her name escapes me right now,
Oh,
but if
me too.
you
Yeah.
stand them side by side, you say, okay, she's gonna lead this team. I would look at that and I would say, yeah, that's believable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Most
believable.
definitely.
So I got to give you that on Margot
Thanks.
Robbie. But okay,
Thanks.
so let's okay. Who do you want to do next? You want to go? Do you want to go Doctor Doom, or do you want to go Mister Fantastic?
Let's do Doom next and save Mr. Fantastic for last.
Oh, bold
Yeah.
choice,
Oh yeah. Let's
bold
do Doom
move,
next. Oh
bold
yeah.
move, bold move. I'll let you know you won the last round
Okay. Okay.
unofficially, unofficially, officially.
Unofficially, we have to check
Yeah,
the scorecard.
yeah, you won
Yeah.
that last round. Welcome. So I'll let you go first again. Doctor Doom. Who do you have in that role?
Okay. Doctor Doom. I see. All right. So, slight backstory on Doctor Doom. He's a powerful ruler from Latvia, I think, or no,
Latveria.
Liberia. Thank you,
Yes.
because Latvia is a real country. I knew it was some fictional European country. He's basically a monarch. He's, I guess, the European T'Challa, so to speak,
Yeah. Well,
and
hey, look, Doom will come for you, man. He will come for you.
he will
If you say
definitely come for you.
you got to say he had Latveria is the best country
Oh yeah,
in the European Union. That's it.
exactly,
Doctor Doom,
exactly.
don't come
Yeah,
for
he
us.
would probably be insulted being compared to being called the European T'Challa.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Oh man.
yeah, he's regal, he's royal, he's all of this and all of that. And I really like Michael Fassbender. I thought
Ooh.
he was an awesome Magneto. And all of the word is they aren't going to cast him as the Magneto in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So
For
you
shame.
got definitely for shame, because I think he was an outstanding Magneto, and I liked him much better than Gandalf playing Magneto, because I really thought sometimes in the
Sir Ian
comic,
McKellen. Sir Ian
yeah,
McKellen.
Sir Ian McKellen, aka Gandalf the Grey. But yeah, I really thought sometimes in the comics Magneto had white hair because he just had white hair. He was still looks like he's a pretty tall and muscular. He wasn't an elderly man. Now, granted, he the because they kind of play with the timeline some. he was in the concentration camps during World War II, which would make him probably in his 90s. But then, as they go over the decades, how they rewrite things, Captain America, I think, was a Gulf War veteran probably one time because, they wanted to make him younger. So
Hmm.
I would like to see a young Magneto be the contemporary Magneto and not the 88-year-old Magneto. But I kind of digress. But in the words of Tavis Smiley all the time. But I really like Michael Fassbender. I thought he brought a lot to the Magneto role, and I think it'd be a waste if Marvel can't take advantage of all of his acting talents, even though they have their vision of what they want to do with Magneto. I would like to see Michael Fassbender get the role so we can have more of him in some better movies. Because let's face it, in those Sony X-Men movies, I don't think he was used nearly as well as he could be in a role like Doctor Doom. And I heard rumors about them making Doctor Doom the next sort of big bad to sort of bridge the gap until Kang comes in or until Kang and Galactus come in. So for a role that's going to be pretty big and pretty important, I would love Michael Fassbender as Doctor Doom.
That is a great call, and I have to agree with that. Michael Fassbender is definitely one of my favorite actors. He has a movie called it's called Frank,
Okay.
and you basically don't see him in the entirety of the movie. Like he wears a paper mache head the entire movie.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's a pretty fan. It's quirky, right? It's quirky. It's a little weird. It's about Frank is a musician who had a traumatic experience in his life that uh, uh, that kind of messed him up so much that he can't socially connect with people
Oh wow.
outside of this paper mache head.
Okay.
It's a great movie. It used to be on Netflix. I don't know if it's even available anymore. But it kind of shows the range of his acting abilities when he can act and act very well without you seeing his face. So I can agree with that. That is a really good choice. Man,
Oh,
you
thanks.
man, you bringing it today. What you
Oh,
bringing it?
thanks. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
You bringing
Yeah.
it. So I gotta pull a George Lucas on this one.
Okay. All right.
I'm
Okay.
pulling a George Lucas. I don't want to ever see Doom's face ever. I don't
Oh.
want to see Doom's face. Like maybe if you get into the origin and you show like a flashback of him in the accident where his face gets all burnt up
Yeah.
because of dreaded Reed Richards,
Yeah.
as he says. But I don't want to see his face. However, I do want to hear his voice,
Okay.
and I think that you can put a actor in the suit in the Doom suit and be voiced by Dennis Haysbert.
Dennis Haysbert, also
That's
known as
that's
President Palmer from 24.
that's right, or Allstate,
Yeah, that's
right?
Allstate
Allstate,
Stan.
Allstate,
Yeah. Okay.
Allstate. Dan, I
Okay.
think that's a pretty good
Oh yeah. Oh, that
imitation.
was that was that was that
Was
was,
that
that was,
spot
that was
on?
very good. Very
That's
good.
it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully. but but I like to hear Dennis Haysbert. I think he has the voice to bring that character very similar to what happened with Darth Vader in Star Wars with James Earl Jones.
Oh yeah.
I think that you can go with a Dennis Haysbert as the voice of Doctor Doom. Very menacing, very serious. He has that regal, dictator type quality to his voice.
I like
Uh,
that choice.
yeah, and I think that would be the way to go. Like if I was to sit back and say, okay, we're making a Fantastic Four movie, and I need someone with a voice to kind of bring the thunder and bring the power, it's got to be Dennis Haysbert. I think he would do a fantastic job. Again, no pun intended. A
I think so
fantastic
too.
job. Yeah, I think that would work
Yeah.
out great. Just because you need to, and then you add a little bit of diversity to the cast, right? You,
That's
you,
true. That's true. And as
you,
much as I like Michael Fassbender as an actor, yeah, if you have a guy in a suit that's doing the action or just the whatever scenes, and Michael Fassbender doing the voice, that takes away from his acting chops, I think. So if it's going to be more of a voiceover kind of thing, then yeah, I think I would go with Dennis Haysbert too. I think that's a very good choice. Maybe they could have another role for Michael Fassbender, And I think if they did pick Dennis Haysbert, just let him speak in his natural voice. Don't try to do some phony European sounding accent, because I think that could kind of go the other way.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But either way, I think either one of those choices would be great.
yeah, definitely,
So
definitely.
now we got to get a drum roll,
Oh
and
yeah. Get
doing the air
Michael.
drums.
Get Michael Buffer out.
That's
Are
it.
you ready to rumble? Oh yeah,
Because
definitely.
we got to get to the man himself,
To the man himself, Reed
Reed
Richards.
Richards. That's it.
Oh yeah, aka Mr. Fantastic. Now, before we go further, can I have two things? Can I have bearded Reed Richards with the gray in the temples?
Look, of course. I mean, maybe not the first movie, but at
Okay,
some
okay.
point we got to get. I mean, we can get there. I mean, if you want to
Good
go
point. Good
right
point.
away, I mean,
Yeah,
because that's kind of. I think he has to earn the beer.
he has to earn the beard, but he can start off with the great temples.
I can go with that. That's
Yeah.
compromise.
Okay.
Let
Sounds
it
good.
never be said we don't compromise here on Sport
Sounds
Look.
good. Yeah.
Go
Because
with
the point you made earlier that we're going to start after the origin story, after the incident, maybe they've been the Fantastic Four a handful of years. Maybe they've had some ups and downs. Maybe he has a Sonny Crockett Miami Vice 5 o'clock shadow and not the full beard, still gray in the temples. Okay. Okay, I
That's
got
it.
you.
That's it. I can go with
Okay.
that. I
Okay,
can
I
go with
like
that.
that. I like that
Okay.
definitely.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So I tell you what, let me lead off because I think you
Okay.
got some. I think you got something good. I'll lead off this.
Okay. All right.
You can wrap up our Fantastic Four Dreamcast. I'll,
Sounds great. Sounds
so
great. I'm ready.
so for me, I'll lead off. So for me, it's got to be somebody not the most handsome man in the world,
Okay.
but an okay looking dude. But because he's at a lead role, you got to be able to act.
Got to be
Got to
able
be
to.
able to
Yeah.
act.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking someone on the taller side. You don't want someone that's a
Yeah,
you don't want a shrimpy Reed Richards.
I agree.
So it was only one person that was like, okay, he's not super handsome, but he's not super ugly either, right? He's not the short guy, but he's not like gumpy and super tall. I
Right.
thought of Adam Driver.
Adam
Adam Dri-
Driver.
Adam Driver from Star Wars, Adam Driver from The Duel. He's already kind of got a long face.
Kylo Ren.
Yeah, Kylo Ren. He can pull off the role as a scientist, but then he can also pull off the role as a not so good guy. And the guy
Okay.
can act. He can act, and
Yeah.
he's in good shape. To me, I already know we got the fans out there saying what, but the guy
Yeah.
can act. I think he can do it. In the long run, I believe in Adam Driver. I
You
believe in
believe in
Adam.
Adam Driver?
I think he can do it. I think
Okay.
he can do it.
Okay. Wow.
Don't throw
Yeah.
the tomatoes. Don't throw
Yeah.
tomatoes.
No.
Don't do
No.
it.
No. It's just not going to be any flying fruit. When I saw that, wow, that pretty horrible Star Wars Episode 7, Kylo Ren starts off. He has on his mask. He was very menacing, pretty tough Jedi. He had his lightsaber. I couldn't tell if it was supposed to run loud or if it wasn't made quite the right way. I couldn't tell if it was really good or a really bad lightsaber, but he was tough. And I was like, man, this is a pretty cool character here. And then he took his helmet off, and I'm like, what in the world? So yeah, I'm not the biggest Adam Driver fan. Now I know he was good in Black Klansman, but yeah, I'm a little bit iffy on the Adam Driver there.
So check this out. Check this out.
Okay.
Check this out. Go watch The Duel. It's on HBO Max right now.
Oh yeah, with Matt Damon, right? Matt
Yeah.
Damon and
Oh my goodness,
Adam
man.
Driver. Okay.
Yeah, you got to watch it. Oh man,
Okay.
anybody on and I know a lot of people didn't want to watch it because Ridley Scott said something about Marvel movies and all this
Yeah.
other stuff, and people like I'm never watching a Ridley Scott movie again. No, look, Ridley Scott is a great director. Like he's directed some of the better movies. He has more good movies than bad. This is
Okay.
one of the good ones. Go
One of
check
the
it
good ones.
out. Uh,
Okay.
Adam Driver's been in this. He was opposite Scarlett Johansson in another film about them being married, which was good. Like I don't just watch comic book movies. Like I watch other
Oh
movies as
yeah,
well.
totally,
But
totally.
those are great movies, and you'll see his range. And like, yeah, at first, like I blame the script writers,
Yeah,
and I
it's not his
blame
fault.
it ain't his
Yeah,
fault, but
it's not
I
his
can see what
fault.
you're saying. I can see what you're
Yeah.
saying. But I digress.
Oh
In the
yeah.
words
Oh yeah.
of Tavis Smiley, I digress.
Oh yeah.
You
Definitely.
know, go
Definitely.
check them out. Go check them out. But
Okay. Okay. I'll say Adam Driver is an interesting choice. I propose a slightly different choice. I propose the guy who's been rumored to be Reed Richards. I'm like, hey, I like that rumor. I'm like, hey, yeah, if you're talking to this dude, I think you should go for it. Quick backstory. I'm speaking of the great that a lot of people don't realize is that good of an actor, John Krasinski. If I say John Krasinski, you're saying who is that? If I say Jim Halpert from The Office, you're like, oh, him. Yeah. So John Krasinski, he was famous for playing Jim from The Office. He's pretty tall. He has black hair. He looks like Reed Richards to me.
he
I could
does.
see him with the gray in the temples, but if you only watch The Office, you won't really see him for what is Reed Richards. If you watch him in Jack Ryan on Prime, he
Oh
gained
yeah.
weight. He's kind of buffed up. All the silliness, all of the pranks, all of the
Um,
flirting with the coworker, all of that stuff is gone. He's serious. He's great in an action role. He's added muscle. He can look legible in a fight scene because the
mhm.
stunt people are going to do all of that kind of stuff. I could see him really knocking that out of the park because Jack Ryan season one was phenomenal.
It was.
It was more than I thought that we would get from John. And I'm like, yeah, this dude can really act. If you've only seen him in The Office, then you aren't doing yourself justice.
Yeah.
This guy can really act. I think he would make, and he looks like a leader. He looks like, yeah, the Fantastic Four is over there, and you don't have to guess who is in charge. And if
Yeah.
they're going to take it past just the Fantastic Four, because there's a council. There was what Reed Richards, and it was
You
Tony
talking about
Stark.
the Illuminati? You talking
Right,
about
right, yeah,
okay, yeah.
right. And they deemed the Hulk too dangerous for the Earth, and they sent him into outer space, which brought on the World War Hulk story. I
Hmm.
could really see him as being part of the Illuminati. Yeah. So my choice for Reed Richards is John Krasinski.
Yeah. And what I'm hoping they would do with the character is all right, so minor spoiler for the Ultimates comic book. Uh Ultimate Fantastic Four, Ultimate and all that stuff. So in the Ultimate universe of the Fantastic Four, Reed Richards actually turns into a not so good guy. Like
Okay.
he turns into somebody that basically creates world havoc and world war destruction. He creates his own pocket universe and his own people, and they
Wow.
basically come and they take over the entire. Well, they take over Europe without question. They take over all of Europe, and he is a bad guy. Even right now in the regular Marvel universe, this evil Reed Richards has come over, and he's known as the Maker. And the whole
Okay.
thing with the Maker is he goes through so much trauma in his life in this alternate universe that he turns evil. So for me, I'm hoping at some point they bring that into the MCU, or at least they talk about that some, because that is a pivotal move and pivotal turn for Reed Richards.
That would be awesome for real. That would be maybe a couple movies down the line for sure.
Yeah.
And the point you made about getting Chloe Grace Moritz, for so she can grow with the role, I think
Hmm.
that's an excellent point. But I think they're at the point now where they can't mess this up.
Yeah. True.
To use a football analogy, you're down by two touchdowns and you're in the fourth quarter when you're making this new Fantastic Four movie. And I don't think you need to worry about Fantastic Four Part Two. You need to really make sure that you make a Fantastic Four movie that's good enough for people to say, "Yeah, this is cool. And I would consider going to see another one." And I think for that, then you got to come with your best cast, no matter what their ages are right now. And
That's a
if
good
it
point.
ends up being pretty good, then you cross that bridge when you get to it. But yeah, I don't think they in any. I don't think they should be worried about where does this franchise go. Just be focused on making a very good Fantastic Four movie to sort of help us forget the stinkers we've gotten over the years. And as far as the origin story, I totally agree because I had said for every new Spider-Man we got, we don't need to see him get bit by the spider again.
True.
But Tobey Maguire did it so well, and then we saw it great for Andrew Garfield. So I can see why they didn't do it again, for Tom Holland. But we haven't really gotten a great Fantastic Four movie yet, especially with that third one, which was hot garbage.
Yeah.
So I could see them doing another origin story to basically say this is the definitive, Fantastic Four. It's like how you have so many different comic versions, or you'll see a brand new Blu-ray on sale at Walmart. This is the definitive edition. If you ever want to see this movie, this is the version that you want to see. So call this the definitive Fantastic Four. Ignore everything you've seen until now. So I could see that justifying them doing yet another origin story, not something that's long and drawn out, or maybe even not show the origin story sequential.
Hmm.
Have it coming on and they're the Fantastic Four, but then 15 minutes into it, show Reed Richards having a nightmare that they are in outer space and this cosmic incident happens that gives them the powers, and let that be a 5-minute dream sequence becomes the origin story. But I think in this instance, since we've seen such bad Fantastic Four movies, they could afford just to give us yet another quick origin just to see their take on it.
Yeah. And one of my things is this, right? Because I've spent more time than I should have thinking about this.
Okay.
uh, but I would really like them, if they're going to insert the Fantastic Four into the MCU, make them a family already, right?
Okay.
So we didn't really go into Franklin Richards or Valeria or
Right.
anything else in our Dreamcast. But I would like to see a very regular moment for a family, and then it's revealed that this family is the Fantastic Four.
That's cool.
Something like the Incredibles, where
Yeah.
when you see the Incredibles, you don't get a whole lot of backstory. You get a little bit,
Yeah.
but you're basically inserted into that story with these superpowered people as a family already.
Yeah.
And then they kind of do what you just said through through flashbacks or through other storytelling elements. They kind of bring these origins out, or they bring out what exactly happened.
Right.
And that would be how I'd like to see the Fantastic Four approach. I think we're at a place storytelling wise where we don't have to hit the nail on the head, so to speak, when it comes to telling a story. You don't
Right.
just have to say, okay, this is what happened, then this happened, and then this happened. No, you can drop an audience in the middle of a story. And then as the story is playing out, you start relaying to
Right.
what happened before this. I think that's where we're at as far as the maturation of a story. But I think you do have to tell that just a little bit, like you said.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially since it hadn't been done well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Right.
had not at all. But
Yeah.
that's about it for our Dreamcast for the Fantastic Four. I think you did an excellent man. Look,
Thank you. Thank you.
your cast list was, I gotta give it to you. Your cast list was fantastic.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Right, and I thought yours was fantastic as well. And can we give our guests our list that we've agreed upon? So for being Grimm, we maybe double back to the actor. Well, we could possibly have an actor play him, possibly not. But who would be Thing's voice? Have we settled on Clancy Brown?
We go with Clancy Brown. Yeah, that's not a problem.
Okay.
I go. Yeah, we go with Clancy Brown. That's not a problem.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
good with that. I'm good with that.
Okay.
So
And
what I'll do is I'll drop within the. Let's see. How can I do that? Can we drop it in the show? I don't want to drop it in the show notes because then that's spoiling it.
Oh
That's
yeah,
spoiling.
that's spoiling the milk
That's
before we get to
spoiling it. Yeah, we
spoil
don't want, you don't want to spoil the milk before we get to spoil it.
exactly.
We're the ones who open this up. All right, so
Yeah,
we're
you
gonna
got to
do.
listen till the end.
There, you gotta listen to the end. That's what you gotta
Definitely,
do. And
got to
then maybe
listen till the end.
we'll put it up on the Facebook page or the Instagram page in the next week or so. How about that? We'll put
Sounds
it.
great. Sounds
There
great.
we
That
go.
works.
There we
That
go.
works. Totally
That's
works.
good. Yeah. If you suffered through this long, you'll get the definitive version
The
of the
definitive
list.
edition.
That's
Exactly.
it. The definitive edition. That's what we
Exactly.
call it. On our social media page. So remember to
Okay.
like us on Facebook, like us Spoiled Milk Web on Instagram. You can email us at spoiledmilkweb@gmail. All that stuff is in the show notes. Just look at the show notes. You got all
Yeah.
our links, everything else. But before we go, we
Before we
got
go.
to get to our what's on the shelf. Other than my GI Joes on the background,
Oh
what's on
yeah.
the Big Mike? What do you got on the shelf this week?
Okay, I have on the shelf. I had mentioned earlier, I'm getting through Snowfall. And speaking of recastings, and I know this is on a totally different note. We have to cover this on another podcast. If you've never watched Snowfall, or if you hadn't watched Snowfall very much, check out Snowfall. It's an 80s period drug show, and I've talked about those before. This is my favorite of them. The actor who plays Franklin Saint, his name is Damson Idris. Once again, we have another Brit that comes to America and gives a flawless 1984 South Central LA accent. He sounds like he could have hung with Doughboy and Ricky just well in Boys in the Hood, but I know they said that they weren't going to recast T'Challa for Black Panther. If you ever change your mind, call up Damson Idris. This dude is perfect
That's
to
it. They
take
taking
the
our
mantle.
jobs, man. They taking our
That's
jobs.
what I'm saying.
They taking our
Yeah,
jobs.
these Brits are amazing, but any foreign accent is a British accent. So he can either easily play his native British accent into being Wakandan. So if anybody from Marvel is listening, Kevin Feige, I hope you are a member of the Facebook, of the Spoiled Milk family. Call up Damson Idris, see what kind of deal you can work out. Cast this brother as T'Challa.
That's it. That's it. Now, I got my sport. I don't know what I did with it. I got it around here somewhere. I don't know. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me go grab it. One second.
Okay, all right, all right.
All right. All right. After a short walk,
Oh, we got
I'm back.
props. Okay, all
So,
right.
so this is what I am into. This is what's on the shelf for me.
Awesome,
Uh,
awesome.
Hulk #1. I'm actually on issue #4. I think
Okay,
#5 comes out this month. I think the end of this month. It's written by Donny Cates and drawn. The art duties are handled by Ryan Otley and Cliff Rathburn.
okay.
Uh, Ryan Otley is from Invincible. Cliff Rathburn was doing the inks on The Walking Dead, and I think he was doing he was doing the inks with Charlie Adler was doing
Oh
the
yeah, that's
pencil.
right. Okay,
But regardless of that, great team there. And I'm not a huge Incredible Hulk fan, but this book is really good. It adds a different dimension to both Bruce Banner and the Hulk.
okay.
I don't want to spoil it, even though this is called Spoiled Milk. I
Even
don't
so,
want to. I don't want to spoil it. It's worth picking up. It's worth reading. I hope this creative team stays on. I know a lot of times they get like the first 6 issues and then you get a new creative team. I
exactly.
hope this team lasts about 20 something issues, maybe 24, 25 issues. I think that'd be a nice little run for this group, but it is pretty good, man. I'm enjoying it immensely. I picked up issue 1 and 2 from my local comic book shop.
Okay,
If you guys are in the area in Michigan, Southeast Michigan, go to Comics and More comic book shop on John R. About a quarter mile north of 11 Mile. It is an awesome comic book shop. But
awesome.
I've been going there since I've been like 12, 13.
Oh wow. Okay,
Yeah, I'm
okay.
not. I'm not gonna tell everybody how old I am, but
So your
the
first trip that was on a BMX bike, I'm assuming.
oh look, man, yes, I used to catch the bus to the comic book shop, man. I would,
Oh, okay,
yeah, I used
okay.
to, man. Look, I would catch the bus. I would take my bike, and I would spend a lot of time in the comic book shop, just
Awesome.
way more than what I should. So,
Yeah, me
but
too.
regardless, I still go. The proprietor of the comic book
Okay.
shoppy is his name,
Shopping. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
the shoppy, yeah, Chris Brown, great dude. But
Okay.
I go there, but I picked up issue 1, 2, and I think 4 from there. He was sold
Okay.
out of 3, so I had to get 3 off of eBay.
Okay.
But man, great comic book. You guys should read it. Support your local comic book shop. Support your local small business. Uh, I know the show is going way over, but I can't say that enough. Without
Oh
small
yeah,
businesses, a lot of us wouldn't be able to afford or do the things that we do. So support
most
your local
definitely.
small business. But that's what I got on the shelf. Hulk, go pick it up. Go pick it up. Go
Okay.
pick it up. It's
Great
awesome.
plug. Great plug. And to wrap things up, we're gonna announce Zach Efron, right, as our unanimous choice for Johnny Storm.
Unanimous. Unanimous.
Okay. As far as Sue, can we agree on Miss Margot?
Yeah, Margot Robbie. Yeah, of
Margot
course.
Robbie.
Yeah.
Okay. And for Reed, we have Adam Driver versus John Krasinski. Is this going to be a draw, or can we come to
Uh,
a unanimous decision on this one as well?
it can't be a unanimous decision.
Okay.
I can't.
Okay.
Hey, look, I already know I'm going to lose because everybody wants John Krasinski,
Yeah.
and I even want him. Right? I just don't think it's going to happen. So I was like,
Oh,
all right,
really? Okay.
yeah, let me go with my alternate choice. Like I would
Alternate
love to
choice.
have, yeah, I would love to have Adam Driver. And as far as I know, other than Star Wars, he hasn't done any comic book stuff. So I think he would be good in that role. That's just me. But I'll concede.
Okay. Okay.
I'll concede.
Okay.
Because I like, I mean, who can fight against Jim? Who can fight against
Everybody loves Jim from The Office.
everybody?
Yeah.
John Krasinski, I'm not mad if
Yeah.
he gets another paycheck. I'm not mad.
No, me either.
Uh,
Me either.
yeah,
Go
so
for it, John. Go for it. And I didn't watch all of season 2 of Jack Ryan. I'll have to finish that up. Hopefully, season
oh,
3 is on the way. But he
it
might.
is.
Yeah, okay. All right. Great. So I was about to say if there's not a season 3 on the way, then John might have some time on his hands. His schedule might be free. So we'll see. We'll see. Definitely.
Yeah, yeah. All right, okay. And then for Doctor Doom,
Doctor Doom, I will go ahead and concede since we go on the voiceover route. Yeah, it's really really hard to vote against my boy Dennis Haysbert. I was a fan of Dennis back on Buck Rogers from the 80s with Gil Gerard. That's taking it way
wow,
way back.
wow.
He was an up and coming actor then, so he was in season 2. He had a couple scenes on the Searcher on the big spaceship. But yeah, I was a huge President Palmer fan on 24. So yeah, Dennis is a very good choice for Doctor Doom.
Yeah, he is. He is, man. That's going way back. That's going way back. So good
Yeah.
stuff. Man. So it looks like we got our list. We'll get that list out. Make sure
Okay.
everyone gets it.
Sounds great.
Looks like that's it for our podcast for today. As always, it is a pleasure, Big Mike, doing this with you. I appreciate you, man. What you bring. I appreciate our spoiled milk family too. You got any words of parting for our spoiled milk family? Any words of wisdom?
Oh, totally. Thanks a lot for the kind words, DJ. This podcast is a pleasure with you as well. I think we make a very good team here. Spoiled Milk family, thanks for all your continued support, and tell all of your people to check us out.
Yeah, check us out, and you can connect with the Spoiled Milk Web. Look for us on our YouTube channel. You can just search Spoiled Milk. On Twitter, we're Spoiled Milk Web One. On Facebook, you can search Spoiled Milk Web. WordPress, Spoiled Milk Web, and you can email us with any of your comments or concerns. Maybe there was something about our Dreamcast you were like, no, 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 this
Yeah.
person can play the role better, or you want to just tell us how bad we are to Margot Kidder, and let us know that Superman is not blind when it comes to beauty.
Yeah, yeah,
Let us
please do.
know
You know,
what you.
lots of varying opinions out there.
Lead isn't his only weakness for sight.
It's
That's
not
it.
his only weakness. Yeah, exactly.
But
Exactly.
you can email us at spoiledmilkweb@gmail.com. But whatever you do, make sure that you stay in the know with spoiled milk and always be ready to be spoiled. Until the next time, we'll see you guys later. Have a great, great day.
Have a great day. Thanks again.